Hello all, I hope you're well. Actually, I don't hope you're well, I really don't care. Yeah, no offense, but yeah, I don't care. Anyways, Sejarah Chapter 1, Form 5. It's, I'm actually late for this video. I was supposed to upload it last week, sometime last week. Like, but I took the PowerPoint took a very long time to make. Not saying that the quality will equal to that. No, I just played games because my Form 4 break has just started. So got nothing to do, then got nothing better to do than preparing for Form 5, I guess, right? So I will be doing this mostly weekly, until I finish covering, hopefully until I finish covering Sejarah Form 5. And this is not for YouTube. This is not for anything. I'm just doing this for my own personal gain. I just want to be able to remember this easier. So let's start. So the concept of sovereignty, Kedaulatan, translate to sovereignty. What is sovereignty? Well, you'll find out later in this video. Let's move on. Oh yeah, wait, no, let's not move on yet. This is the yapping content for this video. Also on a side note, I did receive my history paper for Form 4, and let me tell you, it was not as good as I was making it out to be. I was like, to all of my friends, I was like, yo, I'm gonna get an A, bro, trust me, real, 100%, gone sexual, gone wrong. And then I got it back, and I got like a fucking A mine, bro, like 77. Now, maybe that's an A in your eyes, but that would mean that your eyes, I'm going to gouge out your eyes. Anyways, this coin is called the Sovereign. It's part of England history, which we will not be learning for this video, so that's why this image is here. Anyways, let's keep going. So the concept Kedaulatan, the concept of sovereignty. Oh my god, that word always fucks me up. Anyways, in Greece, or not Greece, but in the Bahasa Yunani, which is modern day Greece. No wait, okay. Bahasa Yunani was spoken by Greek people. I don't know when or know how, but yeah. And in the Yunani language, sovereignty is called super anus. Very nice. That's definitely not how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm remembering it. This is definitely the most memorable one for me, just because of how hilarious it is, how comical it is. So yeah, I do recommend. I don't recommend remembering this because maybe it's not as asked as the Arabic one, for example, which is the one we're gonna move on to right now. So, as you know, Malaysia is an Islamic country, and it it derives from sort of the Arabic region of the world. So the Malay language is also derived from it. So of course the Arabic word for sovereign is very similar to the Malay word. So here it's daulah with a H, not with a T like in the Malay, which is what we're going to be moving on to now. Daulat. Yeah, I mean that's what it's called. That's what sovereign is called. I mean all of these words they all mean sovereign, by the way, or sovereignty. Sovereign or sovereignty. Actually, daulat means, okay, daulat means sovereignty. Okay, all these words mean sovereignty. Okay, okay, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. All these words mean sovereignty. Oh my god, I need to wake up. So yeah, in Malay, it's called daulat. In English, it's called sovereignty. That's how you pronounce it. And I color coded all of these, so uh, when we're moving on and when we're explaining it, so Greece will be in green, our Arabic will be in purple, Malay in red, English in dark blue. So yeah, okay. So this is example question. I stole this from the from a past year SPM paper. I don't remember which one it was because it's from a very long time ago, but it's basically the full answer. Of course, you don't write it in point form, but still, it's easier to view this way, so let's just look at it. So as I mentioned earlier, it's color-coded. So first of all, we have super anus from the Unani language. And according to my teacher, it's pronounced superanus. But come on, I'm not pronouncing it like that. That's lame. And it's funnier if I pronounce it as super anus. So anyways, let's move on. Super anus daripada bahasa Yunani bermaksud agung atau tertinggi serta negara yang bebas dan merdeka. So super anus from the Yunani language means agung or the highest. So superior or the highest. So basically just a high roll, just something like that. As well as a country which is free and independent. So yeah, honestly, it's this definition, it's all over the place. It's kind of weird in my opinion, but whatever. It's funny, so and it's easy to remember as well. It's just this first part and then also this second part here. The second part's very easy. A country which is free and independent. Anyways, let's move on. This video will be quicker from the last one, since the last one we covered about 3 subtopics, while this one we're only covering 2. So yeah. So sovereignty from English, yes. Sovereignty daripada bahasa Inggris bermaksud negara fuck, oh my god, no, that's another one to the stutter counter, isn't it? Sovereignty daripada bahasa Inggris bermaksud negara mempunyai kuasa penuh terhadap pemerintahan. Sovereignty from the English language means a country which has the full power towards the government. Yeah, basically. And daulah daripada bahasa Arab bermaksud kuasa pemerintahan sesebuah kerajaan. So daulah from Arabic language means the power of the government. Sesebuah kerajaan. Oh, okay. In this context, kuasa pemerintahan means governing power. So Daulah from the Arabic language means the governing power of a government. Pretty simple. Daulat daripada bahasa Melayu bermaksud kekuasaan tertinggi dari... No, not daripada. That's 2 stutters in 1 PowerPoint slide. I have so many slides. Daulat daripada bahasa Melayu bermaksud kekuasaan tertinggi terhadap pemerintahan negara. Daulat from the Malay language means the full power or the highest power towards the government of a country. So yeah, since this is like four pieces of content, 4 marks, you get full marks for this question. But be careful from how you write it in the exams. This was taken from the section C, or no, section B of paper 2, which is the writing part, and section B is the essay questions. So for that, you write it in a separate piece of test pad paper during the exams, which will be supplied to you, hopefully, or you supply it yourself. And you cannot write it in point form unless your teacher has specifically told you that it's okay to do so. But usually your teacher will not really allow you to write in point form. Why? I don't know. It's very easy to look at it in point form. But if there's a specific writing technique that your teacher, or no, answering technique that your teacher wants you to implement during the exams, then you better listen to them. Anyways, let's move on. Yes, historical people's opinions. And you'll notice here, in a little I don't know. This guy is a very cool guy here. I added it. But on a serious note, please don't remember this for the exams or do not write it at all because this is not a historical people on a real note. But going back to joking, yeah, really very cool guy, real. Anyways, let's go to the first guy, Aristotle. I have no idea if that's how it's pronounced. But we ball. Fuck it, we ball. So he says, kedaulatan bermaksud kuasa tertinggi dalam sistem pemerintahan sesebuah negara yang terikat oleh undang-undang. So sovereignty means the highest power in a government system of a country which is bound by law. These words that I circled with the red pen are the main points of what they say about sovereignty. So, for example, in the objective questions, it might not tell you that this is what Aristotle said, but it might just give you the definition, and it'll ask you, like, nyatakan tokoh yang memberikan maksud berikut, yeah, which translates to list the figure which gave this definition. And obviously, when you see the main points of the definition, sorry if I have a lot of ums and ahs here. I'm a little still asleep here. I mean, I slept for too long last night. Anyways, yeah, by looking at these main points of the definitions, you can tell that this is from which historical person. So you see kuasa tertinggi, you see terikat oleh undang-undang, you know that is Aristotle. These main points are unique to him and his opinion of sovereignty. And anyways, moving on, we have Ibnu Khaldun. I don't know how it's pronounced again. So, he says, kedaulatan bermaksud kekuatan really? Oh yeah, kekuatan dan kekuasaan sesebuah negara berasaskan semangat kekitaan bangsanya untuk mencapai cita-cita sama. So, this translates to sovereignty means the strength and power of a country's basis for a spirit of togetherness for their nation in order to achieve the same aspirations. Cita-cita means aspiration. Semangat kekitaan, I mean, okay. Even if your Malay is really so god-awful, you can tell here that semangat kekitaan can be directly translated to spirit togetherness. So yeah, the spirit of togetherness or united spirit. But you cannot change what he says. Yeah, you cannot change what he says, by the way. If you are required by the question to list the opinion of sovereignty by a historical figure, which doesn't happen often. I mean, that doesn't really sound like a question that would be asked, but if it does happen, then you cannot change what the historical person has said. Like, even if it's the same word, like, because, I mean, that's not what he said. That's, like, straight up wrong. So yeah, you must use the word semangat kekitaan, which is another main point, the only main point in his opinion. It's definitely the easiest one to remember due to the unique nature of what he said. Because semangat kekitaan, you'll see here all of these other definitions. They're about power, high power, laws. Okay, here Tunku Abdul Rahman mentioned something unique. This guy as well. And this asshole here. But most of them, they're not really centered around unity and, how do I say this, togetherness, basically. So yeah. Also, the last video, going on a side tangent for a moment, the last video was mostly for exam prep, but going forwards, these videos will now be more for teaching the syllabus. So you should remember that not everything not everything you'll need to remember for the exams. So I'm just teaching the syllabus now to myself, because probably the only person who'll be watching is like me. So anyways, let's move on. I already translated, right? Yeah, I did. So, uh, John Bowden says, I don't know why that took so long. John Bowden says, Kedaulatan bermaksud kuasa tertinggi, again, kuasa tertinggi, dalam sesebuah negara untuk melaksanakan undang-undang. So, in his opinion, sovereignty means the highest power of a country to implement laws. Now, this is a little longer than I put it here. The full statement is membuat, mentafsir, dan melaksanakan, but come on, implement is mainly the main thing here. Yeah, basically. And implement is the main point as well. Yeah, that's about it. Anyways, let's move on to Tunku Abdul Rahman. So, this guy, you might recognize him from the last video. He says, Kedaulatan bermaksud sesuatu dibina berdasarkan prinsip kebebasan, keadilan. What? Oh, I forgot to add the and. My bad there. Yeah, it's berdasarkan prinsip kebebasan dan keadilan. So yeah, my bad, gang. Or there might be a comma there. I don't know. Yeah, okay. There's an and here. So, berdasarkan prinsip kebebasan dan keadilan yang memperjuangkan kebajikan dan kesejahteraan rakyat. Okay. Okay. Anyways, sovereignty, in his opinion, means something which is built according to the principle of freedom and fairness, which fights for the welfare and safety of the people. So let me just say that again, since there were a lot of pauses. In Tunku Abdul Rahman's perspective, sovereignty means something which is built according to principles of freedom and fairness, which fights for the welfare and safety of the people. So yeah, very long. It's very unique from the other dudes. Prinsip kebebasan dan prinsip keadilan, kebajikan, kesejahteraan rakyat. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to this last fella here. Tun Dr. Mohammed Saleh Abbas. So, this must be some kind of modern political figure or something, because I have no idea who this guy is, and he has a colored picture, so you know he's at least been around for, he hasn't been around for that long. So, Kedaulatan bermaksud perkara asas negara yang merdeka untuk mengatur urusan dalam negeri tanpa campur tangan asing. Okay, so he says that sovereignty means the basic thing in an independent country which organizes managements within the state without the disturbance from foreign countries. Without foreign disturbance. Oh my god. Let me just say that one more time for the record, alright? I'm sorry. So, sovereignty means the basic thing in an independent country to organize managements from inside the state without foreign disturbances. Okay, there we go. Now, this guy, like, his shit is so long. I I mean, oh my god, it's not even worth. I mean, just look at what this guy said, alright? Kedaulatan bermaksud hak untuk memerintah dan mentadbir suatu rakyat. It's so easy, okay? That's what it means in my opinion, okay? I'm Chroma. I know you guys, I know it's a very shocking revelation to you guys, but I am Chroma, and this is what I say. Sovereignty means the right to govern and rule a people. A people. Oh my god. Well, yeah, a people. That is technically what it means. Sovereignty means the right to govern and rule a community. Or, to rule over a civilian. To rule over civilians. There we go. There we go. Yeah, basically. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? They all talk about countries, but it's what makes up the country. It's the people, right? It's the people. I mean, you could say the buildings, the infrastructure, or whatever you got in your country, but who made those? The people. So anyways, let me just stress, I can't stress this enough. Let me just say this one more time for the record, alright? Do not remember this fella here. Do not remember what he wrote. Do not remember his definition. Do not. Because you will not get any marks. This guy is not a historical figure. I added him in for a joke. And also to fill up the space for a portrait here because I have OCD. So yeah, let's move on. Yes, the types of sovereignty. So there are 4 types. There are 4 types of sovereignty, so let's move on quickly. So the first is traditional sovereignty, Kedaulatan tradisional. Okay, so sejak tamadun awal manusia. So this kind of sovereignty has existed since before the civilization of early humans. And if you know physics, or if you know what this means, then, well, okay, these are modulus, and this is the power equation. Modulus gives you absolute value, so absolute power, the physics joke. Hahaha. Anyways, sistem pemerintahan berkuasa mutlak. So, I guess this is the definition, right? Or no, this is what it refers to. So traditional sovereignty refers to a government system which has absolute power here. So yeah. This next point, kedaulatan terletak pada kekuasaan dan kewibawaan raja. So, Kedaulatan, sovereignty, obviously. Holy shit, I've said that word so many times already. So sovereignty is sovereignty refers to the power and authority of a king, according to traditional sovereignty, of course. Now, terletak pada, there's a better translation for that, but I couldn't be asked, so let's move on. So raja ialah pemerintah yang mempunyai kuasa tertinggi. So a king is a governor who has the highest power. Kedudukan dan kedaulatan raja diperkukuh oleh taat setia rakyat. So the position and sovereignty of a king is further strengthened by the loyalty of civilians. So yeah, I mean, that's right, because without the loyalty of the people, what would the king have? The king would just have his title as king. If the people aren't loyal to him at all, like they're willing to stab him in the back when they get the chance, which is true for most people nowadays, but let's not talk about that. Then the king has no power at all. He only has the power that he claims to have. Nothing else. Maybe he has his Curtis can use to kill a deer or something. I don't know. I don't know why I said that. Let's move on. So, second one, Kedaulatan modern. So, modern sovereignty. After the Glorious Revolution and the French Revolution. So, if you don't remember from your Form 1 syllabus, I mean, not Form 1, Form 4 syllabus, okay? If you don't remember from your Form 4 syllabus, the Glorious Revolution was when, like, this, King James, I forgot which one it was, but it was like King James something, and he was he devolved the parliament, and then the people were like, "Yo, get out!" And then he was like, "Oh no, nobody is siding with me. I'm gonna run to France." And then he ran to France, and then it's called the Glorious Revolution because during the revolution there was no blood that spilt. So yeah, and the French Revolution was when like actually I don't remember, so go find that out yourself. Yeah. So the first definition for modern sovereignty, idea kemunculan negara bangsa selepas revolusi keagungan di England dan revolusi Perancis. So the idea of an emerging nation after the Glorious Revolution at England and the French Revolution. So this isn't a oh, it's the idea of an emerging country and their nation after that. So if you think this is too long, you can remember this one, this definition. So the hak rakyat, kerajaan, dan kerajaan berperlembagaan. Yo, I made a mistake. My bad. There is not supposed to be a kerajaan here. What the hell? I mean, I made this like 20 minutes ago, so like I have no idea why I did that. So yeah, my bad, gang. So okay, remember this, all right? Remember, it's hak rakyat dan kerajaan berperlembagaan. Yeah, discard this extra kerajaan here. Discard it. Just from your sight, from your memory, from everything. Do not remember this. So, what you should remember is hak rakyat dan kerajaan berperlembagaan. So, the rights of the people and a government institution. And government institutions. Yeah, basically. And this is just story time. So after the First World War, selepas Perang Dunia Pertama, unsur persamaan rumpun bangsa dan bahasa digunakan untuk membentuk negara bangsa masing-masing. So after the First World War, modern sovereignty was a common element to clump together combining nations and languages which would be used to form countries, national countries. That sounds so stupid. Countries, nations, nation countries, countries and nations, respectively. Yep. So, if that was too much of If that was too much of a shit fest of a mouthful of words for you, then just remember this second point here. Because this isn't all that. This isn't all that, you know. Let's move on. So, the Three Musketeers, number 3, Kedaulatan Undang-Undang, the sovereignty of law. So, the definition of this is, actually, it's not a definition, but, yeah, it's not a definition. This isn't the definition, but this is just the characteristic. So, you can say the 4 principles in the Rukun Negara, the prinsip keempat dalam Rukun Negara. And it's the Rukun Negara here. If you don't know what the Rukun Negara is, you live under a fucking rock and you should figure out what it means. So anyways, kerajaan dan rakyat terikat oleh undang-undang yang perlu dipatuhi. So the government and the people are bounded by law, which must be obeyed. So hence the picture here. I don't play GTA, by the way. I just remember seeing this meme somewhere and I decided to use it. It's the people, this is the government, this is law. So anyways, the importance of this is which they guarantee the fairness in society, they guarantee the peace of the country, and they act as a judiciary body created in order to protect the sovereignty of law. So if that was a mouthful and a half for you, then you can remember this first this first half. Menjamin keadilan dalam masyarakat, menjamin keamanan negara dan menjadi no, don't remember this third point. Menjamin keadilan dalam masyarakat and menjamin keamanan negara. And you can just remember that. So, moving on. Number 4. The answer you're looking for is 4. Kedaulatan antara bangsa. International sovereignty. So, you may be asking, international sovereignty? But sovereignty up until now has been all about obeying the king, the government, the highest power. There is no highest power between nations. No. There's the United Nations. Merujuk kepada pengiktirafan pertubuhan bangsa-bangsa bersatu terhadap sebuah negara yang tidak boleh dicabuli oleh negara lain. So, international sovereignty refers to the declaration of the United Nations towards a country which cannot be violated by other countries. So yeah, basically, but obviously there are countries being violated by other countries right now, but we're going to ignore that. And we're going to move on. Deklarasi Hubungan Persahabatan PBB 1970 mengesahkan prinsip persamaan kedaulatan dari segi undang-undang antarabangsa. This declaration, its English translation is long as hell. It's right here. The Declaration on Principles of International Law Concerning Friendly Relations and Cooperation Among States in Accordance with the Charter of the United Nations. That was 10 mouthfuls and a half, but basically this declaration confirmed the common principles of sovereignty in the sector of international law. So stuff like the Geneva Convention, which must be obeyed by all countries. Obviously it's not, but we're going to ignore that because it's supposed to be that way, but it's not. So what are we supposed to do about it? So the membership of our country in the United Nations. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to read in English first. So, keanggotaan negara kita dalam PBB membuktikan bahawa dunia mengiktiraf negara kita sebagai negara yang bebas, merdeka, dan berdaulat. So the membership of our country in the United Nations UN proved that in the world, we are declared as a country which is free, which is independent, and which is sovereign due to UN, probably. So that's all for 1.1, the concept of sovereignty. And flashbang warning for your eyes. The background is black right now, but it's about to turn white. And 3, 2, 1. Alright, so the the characteristics of a country which is sovereign, which follows sovereignty. So, ciri-ciri negara yang berdaulat. This is not a mistake. I did this on purpose. I did not choose a text frame with an empty text slot on purpose because I don't care enough about this presentation to choose a good text slot. So go fuck yourselves. Anyways, back to the black background, because this is when you know I'm serious, when I'm talking about serious shit, and our production budget went out. It's just like the kesan-kesan kemerdekaan PTM from last video. So this big factor here, this, and the explanations down here, and an image, referral image down here. Yeah, this is the factor. You don't need me to put the marks anymore. I mean, come on, don't be a baby. Oh, and by the way, let me just say one more time. Not one more time, I haven't said this before. What the hell? Let me just say, I have an acronym, or no, I have an abbreviation later for you to remember all of the chiri-chiri. There's 4 of them, and I have a 4-letter acronym that you can use to remember them. So just keep that in mind. You can form your own if you want, but I'm just telling you now ahead of time. So, mempunyai pemerintahan, has a government. So, Malaysia uses the royal institutional system and a democratic parliament. So as long as hell, unnecessary to remember, when you can just remember this. YDPA menjadi ketua utama negara. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong acts as the main leader of the country. So if you don't remember what YDPA stands for, it stands for Yang di-Pertuan Agong. I repeated that last video already, but I'll repeat it every video just in case, you know. But yeah, that's what it stands for. Yang di-Pertuan Agong menjadi ketua utama negara. So yeah, move on. Mempunyai sempadan, has borders. So the fixing of borders has simplified management of government, authority, defense, pembangunan. Oh my god, this is actually so annoying. I made this like 20 minutes ago. How did I not catch that? Okay, let's just say it right for the record, alright? Penetapan sempadan memudahkan urusan pemerintahan, pentadbiran, pertahanan, dan pembangunan ekonomi negara kita. So the fixing of borders has simplified management of government, authority, defense, and the development of our national economy. So yeah, borders just refers to like the border of countries, you know, like these lines here that separates Sabah and Sarawak from Indonesia. Wow, I didn't know that part was Indonesia. No offense to Indonesia though. And also here, which separates Semenanjung, Malaysia from Thailand. So yeah, basically has borders. There's nothing else here, right? Okay. So, mempunyai perundangan, has laws. So, sistem perundangan menjamin keadilan dan keselamatan rakyat. So, a legislation system or a legal system guarantees the fairness and safety of the people. This is by far the easiest explanation for you to remember. I mean, obviously, right? It's common sense. And besides that, you also have the Parlimen bertanggung jawab menggubal dan menentukan sistem perundangan. System, of course, spelled in English because I'm an idiot. But just remember that in Malay, system is S-I-S-T-E-M. So, parliaments are responsible for making... This make is for laws only. For registering laws. For registering and determining the legal system. Alright, let's move on. So, has a people. I can't believe I just said that. Has civilians. Has civilian. Mempunyai rakyat. So, rakyat terikat oleh undang-undang dan peraturan yang dikuatkuasakan oleh pemerintahan. Oh, shit. Rakyat terikat oleh undang-undang dan peraturan yang dikuatkuasakan oleh pemerintah. So, civilians are bounded by laws and regulations which are strengthened by the governors. So, easiest explanation for this point. And this red star here means you need to remember whatever I'm about to say. So, rakyat disatukan melalui... Actually, don't remember that. Okay, I'll tell you about it later. Let me translate it first. Rakyat disatukan melalui satu bahasa dan kebudayaan rukun negara serta identity nasional yang sama. So, civilians are united through one language and what is it again? Culture, and also the rukun negara, as well as the same national identity. So this will be a common objective question, meaning it will be commonly asked in the objective section, aka section paper 1 of your Sejarah paper, which are the multiple choice questions where you circle A, B, or C. So basically how it will be asked, let me pull up an example question, not on the screen but on my end. Hold on. Where is it? Huh. I guess I don't have an objective question related to that. Well, let me just make one up then. Maybe it'll ask how are the civilians of a country united? And you choose the answer which says this: satu bahasa dan kebudayaan, rukun negara serta identity nasional yang sama. Now, remembering this is optional, obviously, because as you know, objective questions are worth mostly 1 mark in your paper 1. So by not remembering this, you don't really sacrifice a whole lot, and this isn't even like the main topic for this subtopic. Yeah, isn't really a main point. So besides that, we have the rakyat ialah penduduk di sesebuah negara. Another easy one, but I don't recommend this because it's not really a whole lot. I mean, this is not saying a whole lot. I mean, obviously, obviously when you're answering questions in your Sejarah paper, you want to state something short, precise, and factually right. And this, like, okay, not that, okay, short, precise, factually right, and also that you're saying something at all. This isn't saying anything at all in my opinion, because like, it's given in my notes here, but this isn't saying a lot. You already know that. That's basic knowledge. Maybe if you were asked what are civilians, then you would say something different, but in essence, it's the same thing. So I don't recommend. Okay. In summary, I don't recommend writing this or remembering this. I recommend the first point here. That's why I put it as the first point. So, why I put it at all? It's to fill up the blank space so that my PowerPoint doesn't look like it's empty. Yeah, basically. So, yeah, that should be it. So, is this a flashbang? No, it's not. So, oh shit, yeah, it was a flashbang. Sorry guys. Anyways, as I mentioned earlier, this is the aforementioned abbreviation I made for remembering the ciri-ciri negara yang berdaulat. So, I dubbed this the Chroma's Very Easy to Remember Abbreviations. First edition. So first we have GBLP. So what does this stand for? Let's have a look here. So if these look familiar to you, you're doing a good job. You remembered what I just taught you just now. Not like some dyslexic person I know. Anyways, mempunyai pemerintahan, has a government. Government starts with a G. That's where the G in GBLP comes from. Secondly, we have mempunyai sempadan, has borders. Borders B. That's where the B in GBLP comes from. Mempunyai perundangan, law, has laws. Law L. That's where the L in GBLP comes from. Not stands for. Mempunyai rakyat, has civilians. What are civilians? People. People, P. That's where the P in GBLP comes from. So yeah, that's Chroma's very easy to remember abbreviations. I let these images overlap on purpose. So I'm not an idiot, alright? I know. I'm doing it on purpose. Why? Because I don't give a shit enough about you guys. Anyways, next slide is the thank you slide. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean that was it. Nothing else. Let me just yeah, that was it. So I mean you can click off now. I'm gonna have to edit this video, so the end of the slideshow. So thanks guys, bye.